Taurus, what's going on, everybody? It's Sam from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you guys with your mid-May 2022 tarot reading. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well. Without further ado, let's dive on into this and see what we got. I do want to say happy birthday to my Taurian peeps. Happy birthday, guys, and also happy Taurus season. I hope you're looking towards a fantastic one. But let's go ahead and see what's up. What do we got going on here for the Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and we already have here two cards that decided to come on out. We have here Embrace, and we have here Change Your Focus. So, coming into the second half here for mid-May 2022, Change Your Focus and Embrace. It's probably time here to go into a new direction. Excuse my voice, guys, don't mind it today. Allergies are going a little bit crazy, so don't mind me. I am okay. Now, Change Your Focus and Embrace, with these two cards coming in hand, it definitely feels to me like it's time to go into a new direction and embrace whatever that new direction is. You're probably getting what's called an intuitive nudge. If you don't know what that means, it's when you're getting that gut feeling that like you just have to do something. It's almost like you're being pestered, you're being nagged, and you don't know what force is doing it or who's doing it. It's most likely your spirit guides, and they're trying to give you that intuitive nudge here moving into the second half of May of like, hey, it's time to change your focus. You know, what you're doing right now, if it's not working, let's go in a different direction and let's embrace that different direction because it's going to give us a whole new perspective. It's going to really start to get your path moving. So chances are you're probably in a place of stagnancy because what you're doing isn't working. And remember, the more you do the same thing, the more you're going to get the same result. So in order to change the results, you have to do something different. So I'm sensing here that they want you to change your focus. They want you to, get into a different type of perspective in order for your path to work out the way that you want it to. Let's have a look here into the recent past for Taurus. What's showing up in the recent past here for Team Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What do we have here for the recent past? We have here the Six of Wands. So this is the energy of relative success, right? You were relatively successful here. Moving forward from that, King of Pentacles. Now that's not just relative success. That is major success, okay? And then lastly for you, Taurus, we have here the Temperance card. Very emotionally balanced too. So looking into your recent past, guys, we got here the Six of Wands, we got here the King of Pentacles, and then we have here the Temperance card. What this tells me for you is that something was working out for you incredibly well. So the difference is that moving into the current energies most likely today, what used to work for you in the past, chances are it's not working for you any longer. Now, this could be about money. It could be about your career. Maybe you felt like your career was in such a great spot in the past, but coming into today, you might feel like you're having a lot of difficulties in your career. You could be feeling like you're having difficulties in maintaining that same amount of success that you used to. It could be that energy where it's like, oh, well, I feel like I've hit my peak, but now I'm starting to plateau. Well, remember, that's the part of life. It's the game of life, right? There's always going to be peaks. There's always going to be plateaus. Nothing is ever, constant forever. There's always going to have to be some sort of change. So whether this is talking about success that you have felt within your career space, your finances, or it's about success in your relationships that you've had with people, something here has definitely changed for sure. And whether if it's about a relationship that's changed, your career situation that's changed, or whether it's about even yourself that's personally changed, you're in a direction right now where you're trying to do what you used to do, and it's no longer working for you. Let's go ahead and have a look here at the current energies to verify where you're at in mid-May. So what are going to be the current energies here for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-May 2022. All right, what do we have here for the current energies for Team Taurus? First card out, we do have here the Ace of Cups. So I do feel like the Ace of Cups is saying like you have a lot of love for whatever this thing is, whether it's a lot of love for your friendships, your relationships, your career, yourself. You definitely are very passionate and you have a lot of love towards what you're doing. But looking at the Five of Pentacles being the next card, the issue is that enough in order to still be successful, right? Is caring enough in a relationship still enough to make the relationship thrive? Is caring enough and loving the job that I'm doing still enough to make that job successful? Whatever your situation may be, is just loving and caring for that thing still enough to make it work? And then moving at the last card and looking at the last card, you got here Page of Pentacles, which is maybe I have to try different methods. Maybe I have to try a different technique. Maybe it's time here to switch up the game a little bit. And I would agree because remember, doing the same thing is just going to get you the same results. Now, in your past here, you were doing the same thing and it gave you relatively positive results, but times have changed. So you still care about whatever this is you're dealing with, whether it's a relationship, So you could still care about a person here. You could still care about your career. You still have a lot of love for whatever it is you're doing, but you just feel like it's not working out for you. And ultimately, you're getting ready here with the Page of Pentacles to change up the game a little bit. I got to do something different. I have to invest my energy differently instead of the same kind of way that I'm doing it. So it's time to kind of change up the routine here, Taurus, is what I'm seeing for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at your challenge for mid-May 2022. What is going to be the challenge here for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout their mid-May? What is going to be their challenge? And what do we have? We have here the Devil. The Devil is the energy of feeling stuck. You know, when something's not working anymore, it can make you feel incredibly demotivated. It can make you incredibly stressed out and angry. And most importantly, it can make you feel stuck. It can make you feel trapped. You know, you're like, damn, this just isn't working for me anymore. And I'm going to keep on trying. And the more I try, the more nothing works out. So you feel a great deal of resistance and a great deal of stagnancy. All right. We also have here the Judgment card. You know, you keep on taking chances, wondering that if I do this thing one more time, maybe it'll work. And then lastly, we have here the Hierophant, okay, which is the energy of commitment. So Taurus, you have been utterly committed to doing the same thing, but you've still been getting the same result. Whatever you've been doing hasn't been working. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's like you're hoping that next try that you do, something will be different or it will change and everything will work out the way you want it to. But I think this month is about having to come to the acceptance that the old ways of doing things is just not going to serve you anymore. And you have to jump into some new perspective. You have to jump into a new way to get a different result and potentially to even make something work better. You know, for example, let's say right now, what's in question happens to be a personal relationship you have with somebody. Let's say this is your partner that you're married to. You know, maybe there's some issues right now going on within your relationship, and maybe in the past, the way you two would work through it would be by talking to each other and communicating with one another and having heart-to-heart conversations. Maybe trying to do that today, coming into mid-May, that doesn't happen anymore. Maybe your partner doesn't open up to you. Maybe your partner doesn't like talking or communicating anymore, and you're trying to get them to do something that they're just not comfortable with doing. That right then and there is an example of trying to do something that might have worked in the past, but what's not working today, because who's changed? Your partner. And if your partner's changed in this instance, you would have to go about a different method in order to make communication happen. So ultimately, if you are going to keep trying to do what you did in the past, it's not going to play out. And I see that you're committed here, because if it's worked before, it has to work again, right? Yeah. But if circumstances have changed, it can't work again. So let's say, well, then how the heck am I going to get my partner to open up to me? Well, maybe it's not about vocal communication anymore. Maybe your partner opens up to you through different methods. Maybe they open up to you through visualization. Maybe they open up to you more about having a peek in their life and what it is they're going through. Maybe they want to show you what they're dealing with rather than talk about it, right? There could be so many differences that occur here. So the challenge here is about drifting away from being so committed to trying to do the same thing and to basically change your focus and embrace a completely new perspective. All right? All right, guys, let's see what you're dealing with here coming into mid-May. What are my Taurians going to be dealing with, please? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-May 2022. We got here the Fool card, we got here the Knight of Pentacles, and we also have here the Sun card. So, based upon what you're dealing with during this time frame, we got here the Fool, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Sun. You're definitely dealing with wanting to let go, wanting to release, but I feel that at the same time, it's so hard to do that when you're so used to doing stuff a certain way. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is about stability. It's about having to break out of old routines and old patterns. You want to break out of your old routines and patterns, but it's so hard to do that when your old routines and patterns have brought you so much success and happiness. So the main issue I'm sensing for you guys moving throughout the mid-month, because I don't want this reading to be utterly repetitive, but the main issue that's happening here for you guys is that it's just really hard to break out of your old routine that doesn't work for you anymore. You know? You just feel like everything used to be super successful in the past and just today it's not. And I feel like I've hit my plateau. I'm no longer at my peak and I can't recreate the same feeling. I can't do the same things again. And it's frustrating me because every time I try, I hope that it happens, but it just doesn't. And something here has to change. So you're dealing with not wanting essentially to go in a new direction, but recognizing that you have to. Let's see where things are going for Taurus, all right? Where are things going to be going here for Team Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-May 2022. We have here the Nine of Swords. Moving forward from that, we have here the Nine of Pentacles, and then lastly for my Taurus peeps, we have here the Page of Wands. So Nine of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. You know, based upon where things are going for you guys, it definitely seems to me like there is a lot of worries, a lot of overthinking with this Nine of Swords. I just feel like with the Nine of Pentacles here, you're starting to kind of like lose your confidence in order to keep something still being successful. That was a really crappy way of explaining it, but like you're starting to lose your faith and confidence that you can still keep something going. You know, if this is your relationship, right, and it doesn't work the way it used to, you're starting to feel like maybe me and my partner aren't going to work out anymore because we don't know how to overcome issues like we used to. If this is about a job and you feel like it's been less successful than how it used to be, you may feel like, I don't know how much longer I can keep this job if this job isn't working out for me. So based upon where things are going, I see you being very nervous and really losing your confidence here. You know, you're still incredibly passionate, Page of Wands, about what it is you're doing, whether this is your relationship that you have or your job or whatever. You're still very passionate here, Taurus, about what you have and what you're doing. But there's a lot of fear here that it's all going to end. And I don't think this situation whatsoever has to come to an ending. I don't think this situation here is as easy as, well, this just doesn't work for me anymore. I think it's just about having to switch shit up. You know, that's what it really boils down to. So I would propose for you guys, especially for those of you that are dealing with a financial situation, if you're not making money like you used to, if your business isn't successful like it used to be, and you're still incredibly passionate about it, start changing up what you do with your business. Maybe hire somebody. Maybe ask somebody's other opinion and what you can do to spice up the business, right? Maybe if you are used to doing it a certain way, try it in a new and trendy way. If this is about your relationship and you just feel like you and your partner have a lot harder of a time being on good terms because it's harder nowadays to relate, it's harder nowadays to understand one another, try new methods on how to understand each other and where both of you are coming from. Now, let's say that it's not about career, it's not about love, it's entirely about you, Taurus, and you just feel that by doing something that used to work out for you is no longer working today, then ask yourself, what do you really want? And what other ways can you meet that goal? Because remember, when we get focused in linear thinking, only doing something a certain way, only doing something one way and one way only, we need to start thinking outside of the box, because there's a multitude of loopholes in this world that can bring us to the result we want rather than doing it one specific way only. So ultimately here, Taurus, my best advice for you guys is to switch up exactly what you're doing and to really start thinking out of the box here coming into mid-May 2022. I really feel that that's going to change up your game most likely, okay? All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump to the outcome here for you. What is going to be the overall outcome here for Team Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-May 2022. And what do we have? We have here the Two of Swords. Yeah, the energy of having to make a choice for sure. And then moving on to the last card, we have here the Queen of Wands. Also having to be confident, really having to make sure that you're taking action in what you want. Making sure that you don't let your confidence slip, but instead keeping your head held high, knowing that you can and will succeed. Just because you're changing the formula of what it is you want doesn't mean that it's going to be bad, right? It's almost like when you think of a fast food chain, you know, you have a recipe that works for a couple of years, right? Let's say it's a recipe for like a chicken sandwich. You have a recipe that works for a couple of years, and then over time you notice that your customers kind of just stop buying that chicken sandwich. They've been used to it for so long, they kind of got bored of it. Who's to say you can't change up that recipe to make it even better, right? Because I've seen so many companies, right, fast food chains, they change up their recipe just a little bit, and that chicken sandwich is now the most amazing chicken sandwich anybody's ever eaten in their entire life. Because by changing that recipe, you're starting to change up the game. You had a new perspective and you made something better than it even was earlier, right? So my best advice for Taurus here coming into mid-May 2022 is keep your head up with that Queen of Wands. Allow yourself to continue to be confident here with the Queen of Wands. And remember that it's your choice here with the Two of Swords. It's your choice to be successful, and you very well likely can. But remember, you're not going to get a different result doing the same exact shit. So if you switch it up, you guys can get a different result. Keep your head up instead, all right? Allow yourself to jump into a new perspective, continue to think outside the box, and I'm sure you guys are going to continue to be successful with whatever the situation resonates towards in your life, okay? All right, Taurus, I love you. I know the message might have been a little repetitive. I'm sorry if that's the case. I hope that it was a resonating message. I hope it was a message that actually helped any of you guys dealing with this situation. With that being said, though, I love you all so much. Enjoy the rest of mid-May, and I will catch you all in the next video. Much love, Taurus, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.